welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the top stories for the day. The official working hours for employees in the units of the administrative apparatus of the civil state and private sector establishments during the holy month of Ramadan in the Sultanate of Oman have been announced on Tuesday, March 21, 2023. The Ministry of Labour has announced flexible working hours for the units of the administrative apparatus of the civil state. The official working hours are from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The head of the unit may determine the hours of attendance and departure that suit the work of the unit in light of the scheduled working hours according to the following times: from 7 a.m. to 12 noon, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The head of the unit can also implement remote working for the occupants whose nature allows for this without prejudice to the workflow in that unit. In all cases, the number of employees whose attendance is required may not be reduced. For private sector establishments, there are reduced working hours for Muslim workers amounting to 6 hours per day with no more than 30 hours per week. The famed director duo of Everything Everywhere All at Once, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, have had their eyes on Star Wars Galaxy and are working on the Disney Plus series Skeleton Crew, reported a US-based media company. The shoot of the series has already been finished, but the makers wanted to guard the details with utmost secrecy, sources said. It is not confirmed yet if the Daniels are directing just one episode or multiple. The torch relay for the 32nd Southeast Asian SEA Games in Cambodia began on Tuesday with 45 days to go until the start of the biennial regional multi-sport event. The torch lighting ceremony was held at the famed Angkor Wat Temple in northwest Siem Reap province, and the torch was then carried circling Angkor Wat. On March 22nd, it will leave Cambodia to tour other Southeast Asian and will return to Cambodia on April 27th. The first round of the Indian Gulf Cooperation Council senior officers meeting was held in Riyadh. The two sides conveyed happiness over the progress in trade and investment between India-GCC countries. They also agreed for an early finalization of the India-GCC Free Trade Agreement, the Ministry of External Affairs said in the press release. In a meeting with the U.S. Chargé d'Affaires in New Delhi on Monday, India conveyed its strong protest at the vandalization of the property of the Consulate General of India, San Francisco. The U.S. government was reminded of its basic obligation to protect and secure diplomatic representation. It was asked to take appropriate measures to prevent the recurrence of such incidents. Our embassy in Washington, D.C. also conveyed our concerns to U.S. Department along similar lines, read the Ministry of External Affairs press release. U.S. President Joe Biden ratified a bill on Monday which requires the release of intelligence materials regarding the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. The intelligence is believed to point the finger at a Chinese laboratory based in Wuhan, where the virus is said to have first spread in late 2019. The White House said the bill passed by Congress in March requires the Director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines, to declassify information related to the origins of the pandemic. However, Biden vowed to be mindful of national security when deciding what to release. UN Special Envoy for Yemen Hans Grunberg on Monday declared that Yemen's warring sides agreed to release 887 conflict-related detainees from all sides as they concluded a 10-day negotiation in Switzerland. In a joint statement with the International Committee of the Red Cross, Grunberg said that Yemeni warring parties also agreed to meet again in May to discuss future releases and to conduct joint visits to each other's detention facilities. Two no-confidence motions against the French government failed to convince a majority in the National Assembly after hot debates followed by narrow votes on Monday afternoon. It means the government's unpopular pension reform bill is considered as adopted without vote in the lower house of parliament. French President Emmanuel Macron now has 15 days to enact the law. Those are the top stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.